Welcome to Chandwell. My name's Michael and I'm building the back of a commercial street for behind my station. In my last video we saw me opening this building that Liam from the Deansbury Town channel had made for me. At the time I felt that it was too large. In this video I'm going to show my thought process as I try to decide if the building is a write-off or a keeper. Next to my Ridings house model, this building looks comically large, and I was concerned that it looked silly, dwarfing the office building. I went back to Bradford. The glazed staircase of the office building that I used as inspiration just so happens to join onto a stone Victorian building. The Victorian building towers above the office building by at least 2 stories. The staircase only comes up to the top of the second floor windows. So the being dwarfed concern maybe isn't all that bad. I took a picture of Liam's building resting roughly in place. By drawing lines from the office building to the new building, I started to realise that the new building is not actually very different in floor height to the office building. What I thought was overscale may not actually be overscale. It's maybe just a bit outsized. I started to realise that if I moved the building slightly down the hill, it would not look so high. Back in Bradford, I was taken by this narrow tower which looms over the staircase. It's about 4 metres wide, a perfect width to nudge Liam's building down the hill a little. I set to with a bit of cereal packet and a bit of sticky label. It looks okay, but maybe I should bring the windows in alignment with the modern extension. And maybe I'll take a bit of height off it too. Something like this. Yeah, this is looking better. The building is about 4mm lower than it was, and it does not seem to be dwarfing Ridings house as much as it was. A quick visual check with my ruler, and the extension on Liam's building is now almost the same height as Ridings house. This lovely door that Liam added is a monster. The aperture in the wall was designed to match this one over here. This one's got a normal sized door with a bit of glazing above it. But we both added a full height door here for some reason. It needs to come off. Sorry, Liam. This industrial sized but beautifully modelled door is a scale 3.1 metres high and 4.2 metres wide. It's not something that I think you'd see around the back of Market Street. More surgery. I'm going to replace it with a couple of small anonymous windows perhaps. But I wanted to keep Liam's great graffiti. So I dug into the back of the building with my scalpel to try to peel the door away. We may be seeing it again. I used an old brick texture from textures.com to try and give the impression of one of the original buildings that was destroyed in the 1953 fire. Cutting the bricks into the stone course of the tower may or may not be prototypical, but as a first attempt, I'm happy enough with it. I made a kit of parts. I glued them together simply in a jig, wrapped the texture around and glued it into place with PVA. The tower was then glued onto the original building and held in place with the jig. A bridging piece of card was used to continue the steeply pitched low relief roof to make it look like one building. Then the roof pieces were dropped on. Because the building was already complete, I had to fettle a bit of cereal packet to the rough shape of the roof, but this was easy enough. I hand drew lines on it to make the tiling easier later. So this is where the building is now. You know what? I think it works. It's large, yes, but all the original buildings on Market Street are large. Ridings house no longer looks dwarfed by the giant clown's house next door. Once this has a roof, glazing, chimneys and downspouts, I think it will work. The floors line up nicely with Ridings house, and I don't think that it looks out of place. It accentuates the hole left by the fire and lends some credibility to Ridings house and pockets having been plonked in to fill a gap. I'm keeping it. Here's a look at when I was deciding whether or not to keep pockets. Come back soon to see how this building evolves. So until then, thank you for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.